Good afternoon, my dear students. I am teaching class 9, chapter number 5, the fundamental unit of life. In the last lecture, we have studied about unicellular organism, multicellular organism. We have studied about prokaryotic cell and eukaryotic cell, the differences between them. Now we will be taking up the topic one by one, the cell organelle. The first part is the plasma membrane. What is plasma membrane? Plasma membrane is the outermost covering of the cell which separates the substances inside the cell from the external environment. So these cell membrane are made up of proteins and lipids. Okay, so cell membrane is made up of protein and lipids. So what is the function of plasma membrane? It allows the various substance to move in and out of the cell as required by the cell. It can be gases, it can be your waste materials, it can be your oxygen, it can be your glucose, it can be any substance. So it selectively selects the substances which needs to be moved in and out of the cell. That is why plasma membrane is also known as selectively permeable membrane, because it does not allow everything to move inside the cell. So what is another name? Selectively permeable membrane. In the exam also it can be asked why plasma membrane is known as selectively permeable membrane. So now in the last lecture or in the last chapters we have studied about the diffusion. What is diffusion? The movement of the gases or the movement of the substances from their higher concentration to the lower concentration will be known as the diffusion. The substance will move from its higher concentration to its lower concentration in diffusion. But what is the difference in the osmosis? The osmosis, it requires a plasma membrane or it requires a semi-permeable membrane to move. So in diffusion, basically what happens? The diffusion of CO2 and oxygen takes place depending upon their concentration. If the concentration of CO2 is more outside the cell, then automatically it will move inside the cell. Now we come to osmosis. In osmosis, we have got three types of solution: hypotonic solution, hypertonic solution and isotonic solution. So if your cell is in the hypotonic solution, what does it mean? It means this is the cell, plasma membrane, this is the nucleus and this is the cytoplasm. So if your cell is being placed in a hypotonic solution, that means in this solution water is more. That means the concentration of water will be more as compared to the cytoplasm. So there will be a movement of water molecule inside the cell. This will be your water molecule and it will be moving inside the cell. So what will happen? The cell will swell up. So in hypotonic solution, the cell will swell up or the cell will become turgid. This we are talking about the hypotonic solution. Now let us consider the hypertonic solution. If we keep our cell in hypertonic solution, this is a cell, this is the nucleus, the cytoplasm and the water. So what is there? Water is less. That means water is less. That means the outside environment in which the cell is more concentrated and the cytoplasm is dilute. So what will happen? Water is less here and this is more concentrated. The cytoplasm is more concentrated. So what will happen? The water present inside the cytoplasm will move out. Once the water will move out, cell will shrink or the cell will become flaccid. In which solution? Hypertonic solution. Okay? And once it comes to iso means same. So there will be, yes, there will be movement of the water molecule, but it will be the net flow of water molecule will be 0. So the size of the cell will remain same. So cell can be in any of the 3 conditions. So all the freshwater organisms take up this water like this only with the process of this diffusion and osmosis. And if we talk about the transportation of the water inside the plant roots, so this is also with regards to the osmosis. So plants take help of this osmosis process and take up these life processes. And we know cell membrane is flexible and it does endocytosis. Cell membrane, it does endocytosis. In which organism? Amoeba. So amoeba eats its food. Amoeba takes up its food with the process known as endocytosis, because the plasma membrane is flexible. This plasma membrane is flexible, which allows the amoeba to engulf its food. So students, plasma membrane is very important. These 3 solutions are important. These diagrams, please see that you learn the concept very clearly, because it is asked in exam. Give 3 differences or write a short note on plasma membrane, its function. So it's very important to read through your NCERT textbook, and we will solving up the queries. Students, take care of yourself at home and study regularly. We will be joining the school soon, then we'll be taking up the queries. Thank you, students.